Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into one of the most common and most deceptive patterns in all of trading. We're going to talk about the double top, but probably not in the way you're used to. We're going to look at it through the eyes of the market's algorithm.
Welcome to AI Explains ICT. In this video, we are breaking down the absolute core concepts from ICT's core content, Month 4, Episode 14. And I'm telling you, you are probably going to want to grab a pen and paper for this one because it could completely change the way you look at a chart.
All right, so let's just start with a big question. What if the most obvious patterns, the ones you see in every trading book, the ones everyone can spot from a mile away, what if they're not signals at all? What if they're actually carefully laid traps?
To really get this, we first have to understand the bait. So let's talk about the textbook trap, what pretty much everyone else is trained to see when they look at a double top.
So you're looking at a chart and you see this. Two clear peaks right at the same level. Now, for the average retail trader, this is an immediate, almost automatic signal. They look at that and they think one thing: resistance, a brick wall, a price ceiling that the market just can't seem to break. And the logic that follows is totally predictable, right? You see the double top, you assume it's going to hold, so you enter a short position, you sell. And then, to be safe, you place your protective buy stop just a few ticks above those highs. The idea is, hey, if I'm wrong and it breaks out, I'll get stopped out for a small loss. And that move right there, placing those buy stops, that is the absolute key to this whole thing.
Okay, so that's the retail story. But here's where we flip the entire script. Because the market isn't driven by these simple textbook patterns, it's driven by an algorithm with a totally different goal. Let's look at the institutional reality.
So I'll ask you again, what if that resistance, that so-called price ceiling that everyone is selling at, what if it's not a barrier? What if, to the algorithm, it's actually a bright, shining target?
And to understand why, you have to understand the concept of liquidity. In simple terms, think of liquidity as just a giant pool of orders. All of those protective buy stops that the retail crowd placed just above that double top, well, together they create a massive pool of buy orders just sitting there. And what ICT teaches is that the market algorithm is literally programmed to hunt for these pools. It's drawn to them.
So this is the night and day difference in perspective. The retail view sees a double top and thinks resistance, a ceiling, a place to sell from. The institutional view, the algorithm's view, sees a double top and thinks a giant pool of buy stops. It's not a ceiling, it's a magnet. It's not a place to sell from, it's an objective to run price to. It's a complete 180 from what most people believe.
All right, theory is great, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to walk through a perfect example from ICT that shows this whole mechanism in action step by step.
Okay, so check this out. Here's our setup. We have a very clean, very obvious double top. We know what that means now. A big pool of buy stops is sitting right above it. But ICT also points out two other key areas. There's a liquidity void way up here and a fair value gap down below. These are the algorithm's real points of interest.
Now watch what the algorithm does first. It moves the price down, away from the stops. It dips into that lower fair value gap, hits a bullish order block. And this move is just brilliant. Why? Because it makes all those retail traders who are shorting the double top feel like they're geniuses. It encourages even more people to jump in and sell. The trap is being baited, and it's working perfectly.
And then, bam, the reversal. The algorithm turns on the jets and drives price straight up, absolutely smashing through those two peaks. It triggers all those buy stops, absorbing all that liquidity, and doesn't stop until it perfectly fills that liquidity void that it was targeting the entire time. The double top wasn't resistance, it was rocket fuel.
So, knowing why the algorithm runs those highs is a game changer. But what if we could predict how far it's going to run? Well, that's where a concept called the measured move comes in.
And the technique is actually beautiful in its simplicity. First, you spot your double top. Second, you just measure the price range, the distance, from the highest high of the peaks down to the lowest low of the valley in between them. And then you take that exact same measurement and you project it upward, starting from the level of the highs. That projected level is the algorithm's target.
So let's put it to the test on another chart. Here we have another beautiful, clean double top. Everyone's probably looking at their indicators, seeing divergence, and getting ready to sell. But we do our measured move. We take the range between the high and the low, project it upwards, and it gives us a very specific price target of 74.45.
So where did price actually go? The algorithm did its thing, it ran the stops, price shot up, and the high of that move came in at 74.46.
Let that sink in for a second. The projection was 7445. The actual high was 7446. It was off by a single pip. That is the kind of precision we're talking about when you start to understand the underlying logic of the market. It's just incredible.
So if you're going to walk away from this video with just one single idea burned into your brain, what should it be? Well, it's simple, but it is absolutely profound.
And I'm going to use a direct quote from ICT here because it says it all. We never trust double bottoms and double tops because we understand that the market makers will go through these old highs and old lows seeking liquidity. It's not about support and resistance. It is all about the hunt for orders.
So from now on, when you go back to your charts, I want you to find and highlight every clean double top and double bottom you can find. But don't look at them as walls or barriers anymore. See them for what they really are. They are future, laser-guided targets for the algorithm. Hey, if this video flipped the switch for you, do me a favor and hit that like button. And definitely subscribe to the channel for more breakdowns like this. And if you have any questions, seriously, drop them in the comments below. A real person will get back to you. Until next time, trade safe.